Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, now wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. These songs are filled with symbolic language, codes, secret codes. Think about that song. What is that song really about? It uses biblical images from the Old Testament, but it's more than just water. Who's that yonder dressed in white? God's gonna trouble the water. Must be the children of the Israelite. God's gonna trouble the water. Your turn. Who are those children dressed in white? Must be the children of the Israelites. Who are the Israelites? They were the ones that Moses freed. These songs were sung on the Underground Railroad. They actually helped you kind of find your way, some of the songs, or to let you know it was safe. If you had to cross the river, you can't just say, "Hey, I'm a runaway slave. Anybody out there might catch me?" But you would sing the song, and if they sang the song back, then you knew it was safe to cross. Wade in water, God's gonna trouble the water. Who's that yonder dressed in red? God's gonna trouble the water. And there are certain lines in some of these songs that told you it's safe. You're among friends. Because the bounty hunters didn't know these songs. Who knew these songs? Who sang these songs? The slaves, the runaways. Now earlier today I asked several times, and I usually had at least a couple kids raise their hands, but I'm going to tell you kids, don't raise your hand this time. Raise your hand if you would like to be a slave. I didn't think so. If you were a slave, how do you think you might try to escape? Might try to run away. Must be the children that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water. Have you ever heard of Owen Lovejoy? The story actually begins in Maine. 200 years ago this year. That's why we're here today. That's why we're celebrating part of your Heritage Days. 200 years ago this year, Owen Lovejoy was born. 209 years ago, his older brother Elijah. Owen had several brothers and sisters. Elijah was a radical abolitionist. He wanted to abolish slavery. Wade in water, wade in water, children, now wade in water. God's gonna trouble the water. He wanted to demolish. He wanted to crush it. He went to a slave state, Missouri, and he wrote a radical newspaper speaking out against slavery. His neighbors didn't like it much. They actually took his printing press and threw it in the river, the Mississippi River. Not once, but twice. His friends said, "You think it's smart to publish a radical abolitionist newspaper talking out against slavery in a slave state? You think it might be smarter to be in a free state?" Illinois. Are we a free state or a slave state?
Free.
Are you sure?
Slave.
Well, I asked the question because when Illinois became a state, we were almost a slave state. Southern Illinois, if you haven't been there lately, is the South. Cairo is further south than Richmond, Virginia. Southern Illinois was settled by Southerners. Abraham Lincoln came from Kentucky. Northern Illinois was settled by Northerners. Owen Lovejoy was from New England. A lot of the New England abolitionists came through the Great Lakes, through the I&M Canal, and then later built the Hennepin Canal, which I walked today. Northern Illinois was strongly anti-slavery. Southern Illinois was more pro-slavery. It's not black and white. There was this big fading in the middle. But that's part of what launched Lincoln to the White House. We were the off-Broadway preview. The national debate about slavery started here. Owen Lovejoy and his brother Elijah thought they would come here and make sure we were a free state. Who's out yonder dressed in blue? God's gonna trouble the water. Must be the children that's come on through. God's gonna trouble the water. One more time. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, now wade trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water.